of we have finished with this topic of continuity, and we are starting with the basic concepts of differentiability. Okay, so yesterday, the last class, in the previous class, we were discussing about this concept of continuity, and we have also seen what what will be the meaning of this is differentiability of a particular function. What will be the geometrical approach, or what will be the geometrical meaning of the differentiability of the function? I hope my voice is audible. Yeah. Okay. Now let us proceed. So if I say something like, let f of x, let's see some basic concepts of differentiability, and then we'll start solving the problems. Let's see some basic concepts of differentiability, and let's start solving this problem. Okay. So let's f of x be a continuous function. Let f of x be a continuous function at x is equal to a. Right? Let f of x be a continuous function at x is equal to a. Right? Now, if I say that if limit x tends to a, f of x minus f of a, I'll write some limit which is something like this: f of x minus f of a divided by this is something like x minus a. I'll write an expression, or I'll write a standard limit of this kind. That is, limit x tends to a, f of x minus f of a by x minus a. I'll mark it something like this. Let's say some equation, or I'll mark it as something one. If this exists, if this particular thing exists, and this at x is equal to a, if this particular thing exists at x is equal to a, we will be terming it as something like f dash a will be limit x tends to a, this is f of x minus f of a divided by x minus a. If this particular thing exists at x is equal to a, then we'll be terming it as, that is, f dash a is nothing but limit x tends to a, f of x minus f of a divided by x minus a. We have also seen this geometrical approach. What will be the meaning of geometrical approach to a differentiability? The other day we were seeing something like, we have taken a curve, we have taken a point here, we have taken a point here, we have taken a point here. Let's say this is the continuous curve. I'll make it as c comma f of c. The other day we were seeing this. Let's say this is something like c plus h comma f of c plus h. Let's say this is c plus h comma f of c plus h. And let's say this is c minus h comma f of c minus h. Let's say one point is c plus h comma f of c plus h. Other is something like c comma f of c. And one more thing is like c minus h comma f of c minus h. Let's say this is some point p, this is some point q, this is some point r. I'll join this line, I'll join this line. I'll join this particular line, and also I'll join this line. Now, this one is a chord, and this is also PQ is a chord, and also this is PR is a chord. PQ is a chord, and also PR is also a chord. What we take is that we'll take a point. Let's say I'll take a curve. I'll take two tangents, something like this. I'll take a chord and I'll take two tangents, something like this. Let's say like this. Now, what I'll do is that I'll try to limit when this point Q, if this approaches P, if Q is traveling towards P, when this point Q approaches P, that is Q is traveling towards P. If this Q is traveling towards P, let's say Q is approaching P. So what happens is that this part, this is nothing but h tends to 0. If h tends to 0, let's say if h tends to 0, this part Q approaches P, and also this part R, this approaches P. If h tends to 0, Q approaches P as well as R approaches P. Now, what happens? There is a curve, there is a chord like this. There is a curve and there is a chord like this. Now, what I'll do is that I'll try to limit this chord. I'll try to limit the position of this chord, something like this. Limiting position of chord of any curve. Limiting position of chord of any particular curve. That will be the tangent at that point. That will be a tangent. Limiting position of a chord is nothing but a tangent, right? Now what happens is that there are two curves, something like this. There are two chords which are present like this. Ila rendu chords unnai. I'll try to limit this part. I'll try to limit this chord. What happens is that this particular thing and this particular thing, these are becoming a tangent at this point. This becomes tangent at that point. Means this chord approaches like this chord approaches like this. So this is becoming a tangent at this point, right? Now where the tangents, when two tangents, this is a tangent and this is also tangent, both represents the same straight line, both represents the same thing. When these represents the same tangent, it means that their slopes will be equal. Their slopes will be equal. And geometrically, how do you get a slope of a tangent? Whenever at some point the slope of the tangent is just obtained by differentiating that curve at that point. But what is the primary condition required? What is the primary condition required? The main primary condition for the existence of tangent, and a tangent exist avvali ante, for the existence of a tangent, first the curve has to exist at that point. What is meaning of curve is existing at that point? If curve is existing at that point, it means that curve is continuous regarding at that point. Curve has to be continuous at that point. If that is continuous, then we'll try to draw a tangent corresponding to that. Now, this is what we have discussed on the other day. In the last class, we have discussed about this. That is, slopes of the tangents are equal, and that which will be termed as the differentiated term. Means for any curve, at some point, if we want to find the slope of the tangent, we'll find f dash x at that particular point. We'll find f dash x at that particular point, you'll be getting a slope of the tangent, right? So moving forward from this, now if there is something like this, f dash a, this is something like limit extends to a f of x plus minus f of x by x minus a. Let's say on a curve, there is a point a. This is something like x is equal to a. If I move just before this one, let's say a minus h, let's say in the neighborhood of this one, just before this one, I'll take it as a minus h. If I move just after this in the same neighborhood of this one on the right hand side, I'll treat it as, let's say, a plus h. Here the value of x is a plus h. Here the value of x is a minus h. Right? Now, what about this point? If this is existing, this is termed as f dash a. Ante ila exist avute idi f dash a ani cheptunnam. If this is existing, this f dash a is termed as limit extends to a, that is f of x minus f of a by x minus a. If this is existing. Now, how to proceed? Let's say on the right hand part, what if I write a plus h is nothing but x, right? So if I write something like this, limit x tends to a, in place of x, whatever, if I'm just moving after this part, what you'll be getting is that you will be getting some part which is something like f of a plus h minus f of a by this is a plus h minus h. This is f of a plus h minus f of a divided by this is a plus h minus h. It means that here, now as this is moving just after this point, అంటే ఈ పాయింట్ నుండి ఈ పాయింట్ వరకు జస్ట్ కొంచెం ముందుకు వెళ్ళాం, it means that it has to be something like limit h tends to 0 plus. So you will be getting it as f of a plus h minus f of a by this is one part, which you will term it as right-handed derivative. Just after this, I'm moving just after this. This is what you term it as a right-handed derivative. Now, in the same manner, in the same context, if I move just on the left-hand side of this part, in the same context, if I move just on the left-hand side of this part, ante koncham munduku left-hand side velte, what do you get there? Very simple. So, again, I'll write it as limit extends to, or I'll write something like f of, Now x is nothing but a minus h. I write it as this is a minus h. So this is right hand derivative at x is equal to. Similarly, if I write something like this, f of x plus h, that is f of a minus h minus f of a by this is minus h, limit h tends to 0. If I write something like limit h tends to 0, f of a minus h minus f of a by minus h. What you will be terming, this is what you will be terming it as a left-handed derivative. One is a right-handed derivative at x is equal to a, and one is a left-handed derivative at x is equal to a. Now, this is the analytical approach corresponding to whatever we have seen in the geometrical part. And the geometrical part lo already వేరే approach చూసాము. We have seen in the geometrical part some different approach. Now, this is the analytical form of studying that. Let's say, how do you write? If I want to summarize all these things, if I just want to summarize all these things, let's say, first point is something like f is continuous. First point is something like f is continuous. Next part is something like LHT and right hand derivative at x is equal to a. Right? If these are existing, first primary condition is that f has to be continuous. The first primary condition is f has to be continuous. After that, f is continuous if left hand derivative and right hand derivative at x is equal to a, if these two are absolutely equal, then you say that the function is continuous. That is what you have seen from with respect to this graph. Let's say this is c comma f of c. At some point x is equal to c, or I'll write it as a comma f of a. This is a minus h comma f of a minus h. Let's say this point is a plus h comma f of a plus h. There is one chord here. There is one more chord here. Let's say this is p, this is q, and this is r. I'll write it as again slope of pq is nothing but slope of PR. Because if I want to, this is originally in this position, ila undi. Then what I'm doing is that I'm trying to limit this like this. I'm trying to limit this like this. If I'm limiting this, it goes like this. Again, I'm trying to limit this point. If I want to limit this, now this part and this part represents the same straight line. These two represents the same straight line. It means that their slopes will be equal. So I'll write it as f of a minus h minus f of a by minus h is equal to, this is f of a plus h minus f of a by h. And this is nothing but which you term it as f dash a, provided that function is differentiable at this point. And a function ikkadiki differentiable ayina position lo unte, this you will be terming it as f dash a. One is something like this and other is something like this. That is f of a minus h minus f of a by minus h is one thing. And second thing is something like f of a plus h minus f of a by h. This is your left hand derivative which I am talking about, and this is your right hand derivative which you are talking about. One is the left hand limit and the second is the right hand limit which you are talking about. Right? Now, same as your continuity. For the existence of differentiability, first thing is that f has to be continuous. To summarize up, f has to be continuous. If there is no existence of continuity and a function continuous avakapote, there is no point of talking about the differentiability of the function. The function is not continuous, there is no point of talking about the differentiability, no matter what. Because if curve itself is not existing, how can you talk about the differentiability at this point? How can you talk about the slope of the tangent at that point? If the curve itself is not existing, how can you talk about the slope of the tangent at that point? You cannot talk about the slope of the tangent if the curve is not existing. Am I right? So for the primary condition, the primary most condition is that the curve has to be continuous. Once that is continuous, then you'll move according to this differentiability. Remaining everything is like the problem solving with respect to your continuity. Ante continuity lo chesinatte chestaru. Nothing more than that. There are few things which add up here. If you have followed continuity properly, and differentiability will be much easier. It will be much easier. Now, so this is something like a plus h comma f of a plus h, and this is what you get. One is left hand derivative and one more is right hand derivative, and if these both are equal, and that term will be called as differentiation of f of x at x is equal to a, which you term it as f dash a. And if rendu equal ay oka point ki equal ga avute, these are equal to the same value, that value which you will be calling it as f dash a. This is the basic concept. This is the very basic concept regarding the differentiability of that function. This is the first and basic concept regarding the differentiability of that function, right? Next. Next point is something like this. Graphically speaking, how do you write? Let's say there is a curve. I took a chord here, I took a chord here. At this point, I need to check for the differentiability of this function. For the existence of differentiability, first and the foremost thing is that function has to be continuous, or the curve has to be continuous at that point. After the function is continuous at that point, what I'll do is that I'll do something like this. This is a tangent. Means this line and this line are coinciding onto the same thing. E chord same thing మీద coincide అయిపోతున్నాయి. These are tending to the same line. These are absolutely tending to the same line. These are absolutely tending to the same line. Then you'll say that a unique tangent is existing. It means that I'll say that if a function is differentiable at some point, the function is differentiable at some point, this implies that a unique tangent exists at that point. Why? ఎందుకలా యూనిక్ టాంజెంట్ ఎగ్జిస్ట్ అవుతుంది? ఎందుకంటే డిఫరెన్షియబుల్ అవ్వాలి అంటే the slope of this one represents left hand derivative, the slope of this one represents the right hand derivative. ఈ chord slope ఏదైతే తీసుకుంటున్నామో, when this value is tending to this one, when this value is approaching here, whatever the slope of this chord which I am considering, that is treated as left hand derivative, and whatever the slope of this chord I am taking, that is treated as the right hand derivative. ఇప్పుడు డిఫరెన్షియబుల్ అవ్వాలి అంటే మనం ఏమనుకున్నాం? What we have seen, if the function has to be differentiable, for the function to be differentiable, the thing first what we have seen is that the function, the left hand derivative and right hand derivative must be equal provided the function is continuous. ఇవి రెండు ఈక్వల్ అవ్వాలి. In case if this tangent is not unique, అంటే ఈ రెండు లైన్లు, these two lines, if these are not coinciding on the same line, అంటే ఈ రెండు లైన్లు సేమ్ లైన్ మీద కోయిన్సైడ్ అవ్వకపోతే, what happens? There will be two different things. It means that LHD and RHD will not be same, so you cannot term that function to be differentiable. అంటే దాన్ని బట్టి మన స్టేట్మెంట్ ఏం రాసామంటే, if a function is differentiable at some point, a unique tangent must exist at that point. So unique tangent. Now let's say I'll take an edge. Okay, graph లో I got a sharp edge like this. This is some sharp edge. Let's say in a graph of a function, I got a sharp edge which is present something like this. What happens? At this sharp edge, I can draw this line as a tangent. I can draw this line as a tangent. I can draw some line which is like this as a tangent. And oka sharp edge vaste you can draw more than one tangent existing at that point. Let's say in a curve, I got something like this. At this point, I can draw more than one tangent existing at that point. If there is a sharp edge, I can draw more than one tangent which is existing at that point. If I am able to draw in such a manner, there is no concept of unique tangent, so there is no concept of differentiability at that point. That function is said to be non-differentiable at that point. So graphically speaking, what I need to understand is that if there is a sharp edge, if there is a sharp edge at a particular point, on graph, if there is a sharp edge at a particular point on the graph, function is non-differentiable. అంటే ఎక్కడైతే షార్ప్ ఎడ్జ్ ఎగ్జిస్ట్ అవుతుందో, ఒక గ్రాఫ్ లో ఎక్కడైతే షార్ప్ ఎడ్జ్ ఎగ్జిస్ట్ అవుతుందో అక్కడ ఫంక్షన్ నాన్ డిఫరెన్షియబుల్ అవుతుంది. The function will be non-differentiable at that point. That is the thing. First, continuity. If there is no continuity, first point which you have to remember is that if there is no continuity, there is no concept of talking about differentiability. And continuity avvakapote, that function is no longer differentiable. You cannot talk about differentiability because graph itself is not existing at that point. Second thing, left hand derivative, right hand derivative, both must be equal. In such a case, you will be terming it as differentiable at that point. And graphically speaking, continuous undali. And provided that function is continuous, there should not be any sharp edges. If there are sharp edges in that graph, at that sharp edge, that function is non-differentiable. What's the reason? The reason is that a unique tangent cannot exist at that point. A unique tangent cannot exist at that point. So a function cannot be differentiable at such point. Hope this is clear. So these are the three things which you have to remember. Next, problem solving is very simple. For example, if I say that one problem, differentiability check differentiability of f of x is equal to time is 1 minute. Please try this for 1 minute and then we'll discuss this. My question is something like this. Check the differentiability of f of x is equal to sine of mod x. Check the differentiability of f of x is equal to sine of mod x. Please try this for 1 minute and then we'll discuss. Yeah, someone asked a question, Srijanya. Is sharp edge only the case for which that function is not differentiable at some point, continuous but not differentiable? That is the primary case. Sharp edge Why I concluded it as sharp edge? Because if there is an existence of multiple tangents, అంటే ఏ పాయింట్ దగ్గరైనా యూనిక్ టాంజెంట్ కాకుండా మల్టిపుల్ టాంజెంట్ ఎగ్జిస్ట్ అవుతాయి. If at some point, if there is an existence of multiple tangents at that point, that function cannot be differentiable. Even if the function is continuous, that function cannot be differentiable. Next. Okay, people are answering that. So for this, we need to draw the graph corresponding to this. First, what I'll do is that in such a case, I'll draw y is equal to sin x first. This is y is equal to sin x. This is something like y is equal to sin x. Now they are asking you sin of mod x. How do you get the graph of sin of x, sin of mod x from the graph of y is equal to sin x? How do you get the graph of sin of mod x from y is equal to sin x? It's very simple. You erase the graph which is present on the negative side of x-axis. Erase the graph which is present on the negative side of x-axis. This is the graph which is present on the negative side of x-axis. Try to erase the graph which is present on the negative side of x-axis. Now what you do is that you try to take the reflection of the graph on the positive part. You try to take the reflection of the graph on the positive part about your y-axis. It's like, it is something like this. It is something like this. There is a graph which is present something like this. There is a graph which is present something like this. Now, treat this as a hinge, treat this as a door. What you do is that you just try to open this door like this. Just treat this as hinge and treat this as a door and try to open a hinge like this. So what you get is this part. Right? This is what you get here. Right? How that is how you draw f of mod x graph. Now you see all these are smooth edges. All these are absolutely smooth edges. There is no concept of existence of multiple tangents. Now for checking the differentiability of that function, differentiability of the function check cheyali ante. For checking the differentiability of the function, first you have to check about the continuity of the function. As I can observe from the graph, that function is continuous everywhere. As I can observe from the graph, that function is continuous everywhere. What I need to understand now, I need to check for the differentiability. Now let me check if there are any sharp edges. Everywhere it is a smooth curve. Sine is a smoother curve. Everywhere it is a smoother curve, except at this point. You see, you got a sharp curve here. You got a sharp edge here. At that sharp edge, I can draw again number of tangents here. There is no possibility of existence of a unique tangent at that particular point. There is no possibility of existence of a unique tangent at that particular point. So I'll say that it is continuous but not differentiable at x is equal to 0. As there is a sharp edge, I can straight away say that it is not differentiable at every x is equal to 0. So many of you have answered. Very good. Excellent. I hope this is clear. Let's move forward. Next part is something like this. Next part is something like modulus of log of mod x. Talk about the differentiability of that. Discuss the differentiability of modulus of log of mod x. Discuss about the differentiability of modulus of log of mod x. Modulus of log of mod x. Time is 1 minute. Please try. Time is 1 minute. Please try. Modulus of log of mod x. I want about the differentiability of modulus of log of mod x. Check about the differentiability of modulus of log of mod x. Yeah, not continuous, Mohit. Okay. Then what about differentiability? Mohit not differentiable. Krish not differentiable. Okay. Okay. Most of you have answered this. So, okay, let's move forward. Log modulus of log of mod x. How to draw the graph for all such problems have to be answered with respect to a graph. If you can draw a particular graph, answer becomes very straightforward. It will be clearly visible from the graph whatever you are drawing. Okay. Now log modulus of log of mod x. I want the graph for this. First, what I'll do is that I'll try to draw the graph of log of x. Let's say I'll try to draw graph of y is equal to log x. How will be the graph of y is equal to log x? This is y is equal to log x. This is the graph of y is equal to log x. Now they are asking you modulus of log of mod x. Whenever such thing is given, you start from inside. Starts from inside part or outside part, that is fine. Better, I like starting from the inside part. Then what I'll do is that from this log of x, I'll try to construct log of mod x graph. From this log x graph, I'll try to construct this log of mod x graph. And how will be log of mod x graph? There is no part on the negative side of this x-axis. There is no part on the negative side of this x-axis. Whatever the part that is present on the positive side of x-axis, you take the reflection of the same part about your y-axis. There is no part on the negative side of x-axis, so there is nothing to erase here. Whatever that is present on the positive side of x-axis, you take the reflection of that one about your y-axis. You take the reflection of that one about your y-axis. After this, from this part, this is the graph for log of mod x. This graph is the graph for log of mod x. Now from this, I'll make it as modulus of log of mod x. So modulus of something, modulus of f of x. How do you draw the graph of modulus of f of x? Whatever is present below your x-axis, right? Whatever is present below your x-axis, you reflect, keeping the part above the x-axis as it is, keeping the part above the x-axis as it is, whatever is present below your x-axis, you reflect that above the x-axis. You reflect that above the x-axis. So I'll make something like this. You'll get a rough graph like this. This is what it is present. I'm reflecting that above x-axis. This is your graph. First of all, you see this point. There is no continuity. Manam first point em chepkudamante, if there is no possibility of continuity, don't check for differentiability. If the function is not continuous at that point, there is no point of checking the differentiability of that point of that function at that point. So straight away, non-differentiable. Why is it non-differentiable? The reason is that it is discontinuous at that point. So straightforward, it is not differentiable at that point. Now you see, here there is a sharp edge again. Again here there is a sharp edge again. There is a sharp edge here and there is a sharp edge here. So answer will be, this is 3 points of non-differentiability. At these 3 points, that function is non-differentiable. Other than that, that function will be differentiable. Hope this is clear. Basic ideas of drawing the graph. Next part. Someone is asking, sir, when is the new chapter starts? This is a new chapter which I am starting today. If you have not, okay, next. Modulus of x square minus 3 mod x plus 2. Discuss about the non-differentiability of that. Differentiability of this one. Modulus of x square minus 3 mod x plus 2. X square minus 3 mod x plus 2. This is differentiability. Today itself we are starting about this differentiability. Someone has asked it here. Okay. X square minus 3 mod x plus 2. X square minus 3 mod x plus 2. That is modulus of x square minus 3 mod x plus 2. I want about the differentiability of this particular function. I want about the differentiability of this function. Samhita, answer is 0. Is it 0, Samhita? Please check it once again. 5 points of non-differentiability. Irfan, I need to check also. Okay. For 1, 2, -1 and -2. Okay. Modulus of x square minus 3 mod x plus 2. I want about, so this is x square minus 3 mod x plus 2. What I'll do is that first I'll try to draw x square minus 3x plus 2. So this is x is equal to 1 and x is equal to 2. This is a parabola. Now with respect to this parabola, what we need to do is that we need to draw, this is again modulus of f of mod x. This is of the form again of the form modulus of f of mod x. Again this is of this form modulus of f of mod x. Now very simple. First I'll try to draw f of mod x. How do you draw f of mod x corresponding to this? Erase the graph which is present on the left side of x-axis. Now to take this reflection of the graph which is present on the positive x-axis about your y-axis. Whatever the graph which is present here, you take the reflection of the same graph about y-axis here. Okay. Now they're asking you, this is f of mod x. Now I want modulus of f of mod x. How do you get the graph for modulus of f of mod x? Very simple. Whatever is present below your x-axis, the same graph you try to reflect above your x-axis. Now you need to check for the number of points of non-differentiability. 1, 2, 3, 4, as well as 5. Most students have answered this answer. Very good, excellent. 5 points of non-differentiability. Wherever there is a sharp edge, there is a existence of multiple tangents at that point, so it is a point of non-differentiability. Excellent. Next. I'll write a statement. This is again a very beautiful question which I'm going to write. Please think about that properly and try to give the answer, right? I'll say something like f is mapping from R to R be a continuous function. This links continuity also, such that there are two statements here. This is a very brilliant question again. I said f is mapping from R to R be a continuous function such that f of x plus y is equal to f of x plus f of y for all x comma y belongs to R. Right? Question option 1 is something like this. For all x belongs to R, for all x, if it is continuous at x is equal to 0. Option A is something like this. F is continuous for all x. If it is continuous, be a function. So this is the question. F is mapping from R to R, be a function such that f of x plus y is f of x plus f of y for all x comma y belongs to R. I'll give you option something like this. F is continuous for all x if it is continuous at x is equal to 0. F of x is equal to x into f of 1. That is comma f is continuous. Third is something like f is differentiable everywhere. Fourth is something like f of x is equal to f of 1 whole power x for all x belongs to R. You have gone through this chapter of continuity already. That is done, right? Now try to answer this question. Try to answer this question. I want the answer for this question. Think about that and then give the answer for that. F is mapping from R to R, be a continuous be a function such that f of x plus y is equal to f of x plus f of y for all x comma y. Option A is f is continuous for all x if it is continuous at x is equal to 0. F of x is equal to x into f of 1, comma f is continuous. Option C is f is differentiable everywhere. Option D is something like f of x is equal to f of 1 whole power x for all x belongs to R. Please think about that. Excellent question again. Answers? Answer. Srijanya, yeah. Can you check any more options, Srijanya? Option 2, Harsha. Someone said, is it multi? Yes, yes, absolutely. Check for that. Option 1. F is mapping from R to R, be a function such that f of x plus y is f of x plus f of y for all x belongs to R. If f is continuous for all x, if it is continuous at x is equal to 0. I'll add one more thing here. F of x is continuous for all x. I'll add one more thing here. One more option also I'll add here. F is continuous for all x. I'll make it as f is continuous for all x here. Okay, let's discuss. I hope you have done it. Many are answering here. Option 1, option 1, option 1. Excellent. Krish, option A. Ganesh, option 1. Samhita, option 1. Very good, very good. Excellent. Someone has raised a hand. What's your query? Okay, Mohit, answer 1, option 1. Okay, let's see it. Now, whenever such a problem is given, this we'll study in the later part of differentiability. In the later part of differentiability, we'll be studying it, but it is also linked to your continuity. Let's eliminate the option. This is a very good conceptual question, excellent conceptual question. I'll write something. Just now we have seen the definition for a differentiability of that function, that is left hand derivative and right hand derivative. And if that is equal, and you'll be terming that as f dash a. So what I'll write is I'll write limit h tends to 0. How do you get f dash x? For such function, I'll make something like this. F dash x, this will be something like limit h tends to 0, f of x plus h minus f of x by h. Minus f of x by h. So this part, I'll make something like this. Limit h tends to 0. This is f of x plus h. I'll erase this. Okay. If I take this into consideration, this will be something like limit h tends to 0, f of x plus f of h minus f of x divided by, this is h. F of x plus h is nothing but f of x plus f of h. That is what you are writing here. So if I'm eliminating this part, what you get is that limit h tends to 0. This is f of h by h. What you are writing is limit h tends to 0, f of h by h. This is nothing but your f dash 0. Simple application of your L'Hospital rule. Try to apply L'Hospital rule. F dash h divided by 1 and limit h tends to 0. This is nothing but your f dash 0, concept of limits. This is f dash 0, concept of your limits. Now what you got is that you got, by using the principle of differentiability, you got this part. F dash x is nothing but f dash 0. F dash 0 is a constant term. This is a constant. Let's say k. F dash 0 is a constant term. Let's say this is k. What you can write here. So I'll write f of x. I'll write f of x is something like constant into x plus c, basic integration. I can use this concept of basic integration. This is one method of studying that. There are few other methods of solving such problem within one line. There are so many methods of solving that problem within one line. This is the original method which we approach for this problem. Right? Now f of x is nothing but kx plus c. Now if I substitute x is equal to 0 and y is equal to 0. If I substitute x is equal to 0 and y is equal to 0, you'll get f of 0 is equal to 0. You substitute x is equal to 0 and also y is equal to 0. What you get is that you'll get f of 0 is equal to 0. Now substitute here. So c will be 0. What you get is f of x is nothing but kx, which is a linear function. What you get is f of x is equal to kx, which is a linear function. This is a linear function. Now when this linear function is existing, a linear function eppudu exist avutundi. When this linear function is existing, this linear function will be existing when k exists. And a linear function exist avvali ante k exist avvali first for this existence of linear function. And what is k? What is k? K is nothing but your f dash 0. What is k? K is nothing but your f dash 0. For the existence of f dash 0, the basic condition is that, and a differentiable avvali ante a function at some point, first the function has to be continuous at that point. For the function to be differentiable at some point, the first and primary condition is that the function has to be continuous at that point. And a continuous లేనప్పుడు differentiability గురించి మాట్లాడలేం. ఇప్పుడు f dash 0 అని రాస్తున్నారు. You are writing f dash 0. What does that mean? That means first that function has to be continuous at x is equal to 0. అప్పుడు ఇది exist అవుతుంది. At that point you can write this as existing part. So option A is right. Most of you have answered this. Option A is right, absolutely right. Now what about option B? I hope this is clear. Option A is clear. This is the basic method. We'll be solving many problems of such kind in the coming lectures. In the coming lectures, we'll be solving many problems of such kind. Next. Now if I write this, f of x plus y is f of x plus f of y. Now second option is that f of x is equal to something into f of 1 provided x is continuous, provided f of x is continuous. That is the option given. Now what I'll write is that f of, I'll write something like this. F of what will be f of x plus y plus z? This is again f of x plus f of y plus f of z. In place of x plus y, in place of y, you write y plus z. So I'll write again f of x plus f of y plus z. Again, f of y plus z can be written as f of y plus f of z. So I can write f of x plus y plus z is f of x plus f of y plus f of z. Similarly, if I write f of x1 plus x2 plus x3 plus x4, this part can be written as f of x1 plus f of x2 plus f of x3 plus f of x4. This can be written as f of x1 plus f of x2 plus f of x3 plus f of x4. Now what I'll do is that, listen, here's the logic. F of x1 plus x2 plus x3 plus x4 so on up to xn. F of x1 plus x2 plus x3 plus x4 so on up to xn. I'll write it as f of x1 plus f of x2 plus f of x3 plus and so on up to f of xn. F of x1 plus f of x2 plus f of x3 plus so on up to f of xn. That is what you write. Okay. Now what I'll write it as that, I'll write f of 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus so on up to 1. This I'll write it as x times. I'll write it as f of 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus so on up to this part. I'll write it as x times. Again, I'll write it as f of 1 plus f of 1 plus f of 1 so on up to, again you'll write it as x times. Again, you write it as x times here. Now, what is f of x 1 plus 1 plus 1 so on up to x times? This is nothing but f of x. Okay, this is the logic here. So, f of 1 plus f of 1 plus f of 1 so on up to x times. That is nothing but f of x into f of 1. X into f of 1 again. X into f of 1 again. I can also write provided that function is continuous. Ante okka functional equation iste. There can be many solutions based on the boundary conditions. If there is one functional equation is given, that functional equation can have many solutions based on the boundary conditions. And f of 1 equal to 2 ichanu. Inko case to f of 1 is equal to 4 ichanu. Your answer changes. Based on boundary conditions, a functional equation may have number of solutions. Oka solution to stick on avvakudu eppudu. Okay, so option B is also right, and option C and option D will be wrong, and option 5 whatever I am saying, that is again wrong, because I said it is continuous for all x. It will be continuous only when it is continuous at x is equal to 0. That's our point. Very beautiful logic. Please, ante ilanti function eppudaithe meeku vastundo, whenever you are finding such a function, be wary of that part. You may write it as on a rough hand, you may write it as continuous or discontinuous everywhere. Continuous everywhere. Because that appears to be a linear function, you'll write continuous everywhere. But that will be continuous only if that is continuous at x is equal to 0. So such small points will be missed by the students frequently. Please be wary of that. Hope this is clear. Sir, someone has asked, sir, how can you take f dash 0 is constant? F dash 0 is a value. If a function is fixed, Ganesh, if the function is fixed, that value will also be fixed. Let's say there is some arbitrary value which for everything you may get a solution. You may get number of solutions. If I take one particular solution, that value of f dash 0 will be fixed again. That value of f dash 0 that will be fixed. That is how we take it as. Where function is fixed, if I'm substituting that value what is present in the domain, that value will be fixed. Concept of functions. Okay, this is clear. Next part. Differentiability using differentiation. Differentiability using differentiation. Very simple. This is also we have discussed yesterday in yesterday's class. Like whenever you are finding the differentiability of that function, first check for continuity. For example, if there is something like this, example is f of x is x square plus 2x plus 4, x is less than 2, and this is like 9x plus 6, x is greater than or equal to 2. A part is present something like this. Let's say there is a problem which is present something like this. Now, differentiability using differentiation. What does this mean? Very simple. We know basic differentiations, am I right? Now, whenever you are checking for the differentiability of this function, what you do is that first check continuity. And where do you check the continuity of such function? Where do you check the continuity of such function? The continuity of the function will be checked mainly at the points where the definition of the function is changing. For a piecewise function, the continuity of such a function will be checked at the points where the definition of the function is changing. And a function definition ekkadaithe marutu vastundo akkada continuity check chestaru basically. So let's say at this end points, primarily at this end points. Now it means that whenever you are finding differentiability, the first step, the step number 1 is always check for continuity. Whenever you are finding differentiability, step number 1 is always check for continuity. Once the function is continuous, now you proceed forward. Once the function is continuous, now you proceed forward. It means that if I say something like that, whenever that is continuous, straight away find f dash x. Whenever that function is continuous, straight away find f dash x. How do you write f dash x? Mainly basic differentiation. Please try to use basic differentiation. How is that? This is something like 2x plus 2. I'm differentiating this entire thing. 2x plus 2, x is less than 2, and this is nothing but 9, x is greater than or equal to 2. 2x plus 2, x is less than 2, 9, x is greater than or equal to 2. Now in this step, after finding the differentiated function, at x is equal to 2, if I find the limit of this part, something like in this f dash x, if I find something like limit x tends to 2 minus here, in this f dash x, after f of x, if that is continuous, proceed forward, find f dash x. In this f dash x, if it is something like limit x tends to 2 minus, if I find left hand limit corresponding to this new function, this new function, that is nothing but which you treat it as left hand derivative. That is what you treat it as the left hand derivative ideally. Ante simple ga em chesaru, ichina function ni manakunna knowledge tho differentiate chesam. Ichina function ni manakunna knowledge toni individual ga differentiate chesam. Aa differentiated value ki malli limit value kanukuntunam. Like you are checking for continuity. Continuity ela check chestunnamo, but continuity ki ikkada teda enti? What is the difference from continuity and here? In continuity, you are checking 3 things. What are they? In continuity, you are checking 3 things. What are those 3 things? The 3 things are something like this: left hand limit, right hand limit, and value of the function. Here, what you need to do is that for this differentiated function, in simple terms, what I'll do is that for this differentiated function, if you find the left hand limit at this point, that is nothing but left hand derivative. If I find the right hand limit at this point, right hand limit in this new function, that is nothing but right hand derivative. Now for the existence of the differentiability, for the function to be differentiable, what do you understand here? Left hand derivative and right hand derivative must be same. Left hand derivative and right hand derivative must be same. So simply here you can observe that what is the left hand derivative here at x is equal to 2? Left hand derivative at x is equal to 2 is 4. Left hand derivative at x is equal to 2 is 4, and right hand derivative at x is equal to 2 is 9. Simply what I say, that function is not differentiable at x is equal to 2. Comment is that not differentiable at x is equal to So to sum up, what we have to do, first check for continuity. First step is continuity. What will be the next step? Next step is that by using our knowledge of differentiation, we'll differentiate that. Now for that differentiated function, we'll check LHD and RHD, or simply for that differentiated function, we'll check continuity. అంటే కొత్తగా వచ్చిన డిఫరెన్షియేటెడ్ ఫంక్షన్ కి కంటిన్యూటీ చెక్ చేస్తాం, ఎక్స్క్లూడింగ్ ద వాల్యూ ఆఫ్ ది ఫంక్షన్. కొత్తగా వచ్చిన ఫంక్షన్ కి కంటిన్యూటీ చెక్ చేస్తాం, ఎక్స్క్లూడింగ్ ద వాల్యూ ఆఫ్ ది ఫంక్షన్. అంటే LHD RHD మాత్రమే చెక్ చేస్తున్నాం. If those both are equal, you'll say function is differentiable at that point. If those both are not equal, then you'll say that function is not differentiable at that point. Hope this is clear. Very simple. If you follow continuity, here is just one more step extra. Differentiate that, then check for the continuity excluding that value of the function term. Right? Next. But there may be a case here. There may be a case here. What is the case? The case is something like this. To mislead you, examiner will give you something like that. అంటే మనం ఒక మెథడ్ నేర్చుకుందాం, ఆ మెథడ్ లో ఏమవుతుంది ఫైనల్ గా మనకి ఇలా వచ్చేసింది, విల్ మూవ్ ఫార్వర్డ్. బట్ sometimes it happens like function is not continuous at this point. Sometimes it happens that function is not continuous, but if I find the derivated function, function will be means LHD and RHD will be equal. అంటే సింపుల్ గా చెప్పాలి అంటే ఫంక్షన్ ఇస్తారు, మనం ఫాస్ట్ గా మనం డిఫరెన్షియేట్ చేసేస్తాం. Fastly what we do, we'll do differentiate it without checking for continuity. Many students will do that. Even to show that I have done the same thing here. To show that I have done the same thing here, first check for the continuity of that function. If there is no continuity, there is no point of checking differentiability. Only if the function is continuous, you have to move forward. Sometimes what happens, even the function is not continuous, if I find the derivative and both the derivatives may be same, and hurriedness, what we do, we'll write it as a differentiable at that point. You'll lose the mark. Reason, you have not checked for the continuity of the function, which is the primary step. Okay, hope this is clear. Very good, Raj Gautam, very good, you have identified that. One last concept and very important concept. Just it hardly takes 2 minutes. Please listen. Differentiability, non-differentiability of points of, find the points of non-differentiability, find the points of non-differentiability of x minus 1, find the points of non-differentiability of the function x minus 1 into modulus of x into x minus 1. Find the non-differentiability of the function. Find the points of non-differentiability of the function x minus 1 into modulus of x into x minus 1. Same model of the questions have been asked twice in exam, your JEE examination. It has been asked twice. Concept is excellent and problem is very simple. Hardly it takes 1 minute. Please try. Only at x is equal to 0, not differentiable, sir. Excellent. Very good. Still, I want answers. I want answer for this. 0, 1. Very good. Irfan, what's your answer? Mohit, Krish, Nishit, Harsha, Samhita, 0, 1. Ganesh. What's your answers? Anant, 1 point of non-differentiability. Okay. Okay, let's try to solve this. See, if I multiply two functions, f of x into g of x, if I multiply two functions, f of x into g of x, if I multiply two functions, f of x into g of x, let's say this function f of x is continuous and differentiable at x is equal to a. Let us consider two functions, f of x into g of x. Now let's say h of x is this function, f of x into g of x. Now this part, let's say I'll write continuous but not differentiable, continuous but not differentiable at x is equal to a. This part I'll make it as continuous but not differentiable at x is equal to a. I'll write it as continuous but not differentiable at x is equal to a. Now for h of x, this is very important statement, h of x to be differentiable, for f of h of x to be differentiable at x is equal to a, then f of a must be 0. Very important statement this is. For h of x to be differentiable at x is equal to a, then f of a must be 0. This is continuous and non-differentiable at x is equal to a. Continuous and differentiable at x is equal to a. This part is continuous but not differentiable at x is equal to a. For this entire function to be differentiable at x is equal to a, f of a must be equal to 0. Proof for this we'll see in the next class. So applying the same concept, proof for this we'll see in the next class, there's no time. And applying the same concept here, what do you get? This x into x minus 1, x into x minus 1, this is not differentiable, modulus of x into x minus 1. How is x into x minus 1? X into x minus 1, the graph looks like this, modulus of this part. Non-differentiable at x is equal to 0 and non-differentiable at x is equal to 1. If I write modulus of x minus a into modulus of x minus a into modulus of x minus b into modulus of x minus c, so on, like all these points will be non-differentiable at this point. All these points will be non-differentiable at this point. Now you see at 1 this is non-differentiable at 0 comma 1. This part is non-differentiable at 0 comma 1, but at 1 this is 0. At 1 this is 0, so this will be a point of differentiability. And 1 దగ్గర ఆ part 0 అవుతుంది, like f of 1 is 0, you are getting it as f of 1 is 0. As f of 1 is 0, this has to be a point for differentiability. And what is the only point of non-differentiability? X is equal to 0 is the only point of non-differentiability. Statement is very important. How this is obtained, we'll see in the next class. Good night. Hope this is clear. Srijanya, at 1 it is differentiable. Srijanya, at 1 it is differentiable. The reason, this statement. How that is obtained, we'll see in the same proof. For that I'll explain with the help of graph tomorrow. Okay. Oh, hope you are following this. Good night.